Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading for August 2024. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. High Priestess, this is a full moon energy, or this is at least a waxing lunar energy. To me, this feels like the psychic aperture, the lunar aperture is widening, letting in more spiritual light. The third eye is opening, right? I feel like you've been very, very connected lately. You've probably been having a lot more spiritual experiences, a lot more progress in your meditation or your prayer or your whatever you do to connect with the divine, right? Maybe you do tarot readings. Maybe you do tea leaf readings like my wife over at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. Her name is Lenore. Or you connect with spirit in other ways. Okay, whatever that way is, I feel like you've been doing more of it, and you've been feeling like they've been getting more powerful. Yeah. I think Spirit is preparing you for something. I think God, Goddess, Deity, Higher Self, True Self, Guardian Angels, Ancestors, Spirit Guides, whatever you want to call it, is preparing you for something very, very important. Your dreams have been more active lately. Your imagination, your flights of fancy have been more active lately, and I feel like there's a theme. Yeah? I feel like there's kind of a common motif that keeps reappearing for you, right? Do you have a dream journal? If you don't, start one. Not even a dream journal, a daydream journal, an imagination journal kind of thing, right? Where you just put down the pictures and ideas and motifs and symbols and signs, the synchronicities. Not a coherent narrative. Don't intellectualize it. Just dump those symbols on paper if you can, okay? Let's see what's going on with this energy. Your work now is to obey that energy. We've got the Hanged Man as your, I was going to hold the Hanged Man up this way, upside down, right? It's supposed to be that way. The Hanged Man is kind of your challenge for the month. Okay, this is your quest right now. And I think it really is the quest for you to figure out what Spirit is telling you and to allow it, to acquiesce, to concede to Spirit and to not intellectualize it, to not fight it. Immerse yourself further into this unconscious sort of spiritual psychic energy. For whatever reason, I don't know if, August is an important month for you, for some other type of reason. Maybe, I don't know if there's some sort of anniversary or something going on, right? There's something that happens for you, I think, every August to September. Yeah. But for whatever reason, the veil between worlds is very thin for you. And you're being told that, and I bet this is sort of a challenge for you, is to allow yourself to immerse further into it. You're in meditation, go deeper, right? You're analyzing your dreams, or you're recording your dreams. You're immersing yourself in your dreams, go deeper, right? That lucid dreaming, I think, is very close for you, right? The spiritual breakthrough is sort of being heralded, right? And it's not something that we want to struggle through. It's something that we want to kind of sigh and let out all the tension. We want to relax into it. This is us kind of doing a trust fall with the universe, right? We're kind of diving right in, right? But the secret of this card really is in the fact that it could very easily be turned upside down, or right side up, or inside out. By going deeper into something, you're finding a way to emerge victorious. This reminds me of a recurring dream I had when I was a child. I was swimming in a dark pool of water at night on top of a mountain kind of thing. And I was being told by a goddess type of energy that the only way to get out of this water was to go deeper into it. Now, there's all sorts of psychological things that we could say about that, but let's not get too Freudian in here. I feel as if it's important for you to immerse yourself in this energy right now. Really double down, okay? Let's see what else is going on here. We'll put all of this into some context. Underneath everything, Chariot, more watery energy. We know that this is the Chariot. This rules the sign of Cancer. And of course, the High Priestess represents the full moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon. This is very important energy. And it really is about us kind of navigating by moonlight here, you know? And I think it's very important that we remain in this kind of watery, ethereal, psychic, sort of creative, imaginative, astral space and not intellectualize anything, right? No swords cards today. Spirit is preparing you for something that I feel is going to change your life. It's going to probably involve some travel. I think you're somebody who's, you're rather fond of travel. I feel like you're somebody who really just enjoys being in the car or on a train or on a plane or a submarine or a boat or a hang glider or whatever, right? You love traveling. And I almost feel for you that you don't really mind you don't care even what the destination is. You just like the traveling to get there. You like being, again, in the car or the train or the airplane or something like that, right? I almost feel like you don't want to get to the destination. That when you arrive there, it's kind of a disappointment because now it's like, well, this journey's over. And we think about it. You're in a car or you're in a boat or something. And even if you're driving or a passenger, it's kind of a relaxing space, right? And I feel that way too about when I'm driving. There's something very alert and very focused about it. You got to be safe if you're driving. But there's also something rather tranquil about it, something almost meditative about transportation, ambulation in a way, right? And it's the same thing we get when we're doing a walking meditation. It's just the idea of the kind of almost a rhythmic flow of the sensory thing. You know, if you're driving, you've got all the roads going by you, the sceneries going by you, and you have that rhythmic vibration almost of the road or the water or the air, you know, or the train tracks, right? And there's something very meditative about it. Now, don't meditate while you're driving. That'd be dangerous. But if you're a passenger, and I think that I think you like riding the train. You like, you like things where you're not driving, I feel, you know. But anyway, I feel that Spirit is preparing you for some travel, you know. And maybe this is internal travel. Maybe this is leading you to some sort of realization that you've been kind of needing or wanting for a long time, you know. Let's see what's in the past position here before we keep going. Yeah. In the past, we have the future. This is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the energy that looks at the future. So this is you having this vision of who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. Long term, a month from now, a year, 5, 10, 20 years from now. Okay? But this is yesterday's news. This is in the past position. I think that you've had a very kind of solid expectation of how your life was going to go. You know? And for better or for worse. Okay? I feel that, you know, yesterday you had this energy where you said, yeah, I can see who I'm going to be, where I'm going to be, and what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, for the foreseeable future. You know? It's sort of good, sort of bad. It's, you know, it is what it is. I think maybe you've resigned yourself to believing this. But now, all this psychic activity, immerse yourself in it. Don't fight against it. The earth energy here with the pentacles, very practical, right? We're not trying to be practical. I'm really worried we're going to get a sword up here. I feel like Spirit's kind of telling you your life is going to be very different than what you've kind of already resigned yourself to believe, okay? Maybe we're talking, career or creativity or family stuff, personal stuff, love stuff. Whatever it is, I feel like it's different. The vision is changing. And it's being shown to you through your dreams, your fantasies, your daydreams, right? The synchronicities, all this psychic energy. You probably do tarot readings every day, and it seems like it's always telling you the same thing. Things are different than what you kind of expect them to be. But only if you accept it. If you do that trust fall with the universe and you lean into it. Because with any idea of fate or destiny, especially with divination, tarot readings, the energy that I read in these readings is not permanent, static, stuck energy. It's a living energy, okay? If I say something's coming in your future, it doesn't mean that it's absolutely 1,000% guaranteed, because you have a major effect on your own life, right? I mean, obviously, it makes sense. So through your thinking, feeling, your actions, your decisions, the energy is always changing, right? Every moment you're having a thought or some sort of perception or some sort of, activity in your soul, right? That changes the dynamics of the energy in your life. So Spirit is asking you to not interfere with this, to lean into it, to allow these changes to take place that you've been shown in, I think, in your tarot readings and maybe even readings on this channel. I'd have to go back and look at the previous Scorpio readings. Now we've got, it's not a sword, it's a Knight of Cups. It's another Cancer energy. Very interesting. I think Cancer is going to have to be a really important energy for you. Either you have a Cancer person that's very close to you. I feel it's somebody with whom you have an intimate relationship. I feel like you should go watch the Cancer reading that we just did a couple days ago. All right. I feel like this might be a change in your life, a change of the direction of your life, which does have a destination, a change in the journey of your life that involves intimacy in a way. I feel like it involves you learning what your gift is and giving it away. See, this is the card of the ways in which we give and receive love and affection. Okay? I feel like your life is the direction, the course of your life, the movement, right? Not so much the destination, but the traveling part of it, the part we really enjoy, yeah? I think is shifting to involve more moments of intimate connections, more love, maybe more romance, more kindness, more love, more charity, more service, yeah? More creative expression, more of you expressing who you really are and how you really feel. See, we've got a Knight of Pentacles and a Knight of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles is very kind of practical, right? This is not so practical. This is someone who is moved by their passion, moved by their love, moved by their intimacy, moved by their desire to have intimate connections with people, not just romantically, right? There's romantic love, platonic love, divine love, and self-love. And I think that is the motivating force for you right now. That is how you're being led through life now. That is the train that you're on, rather than whatever this, the more practical train that we thought we were catching back here. Maybe this is the train, maybe this is the submarine, right? See what is in the future position. Still no swords cards. Very thankful for that. This is the Nine of Wands. This is strength. And this is your conscious connection now with that lunar energy. This is you consciously finding guidance from that ever-widening psychic aperture, that spiritual energy, that lunar psychic energy. This is you being guided very much by the divine light, by the psychic perception. Okay? Using your sixth sense here. This is the strength and the guidance that you consciously acknowledge and I think really obey, right? You're obeying your true self, your inner self, your psychic energy, that guiding divine light. There's a real strength in that. The ultimate sort of source of willpower is when our conscious mind is connected with that unconscious kind of psychic energy. So this is a card that says you get a lot of strength through your connection with your dreams and with that psychic energy, with through the unconscious contents that you become aware of, that we immerse ourselves further into ourselves, and that brings about conscious revelations, conscious awareness, willpower, strength, fortitude, right? Resolve, resolution, to stay connected with that psychic energy. So if we think that we are diving into this unconscious or psychic energy and we're kind of losing our willpower, losing ourselves, that we're just the hanged man, that we're completely conceding, trustful with the universe, you are emerging as a stronger, more confident, a more resolved being with not less agency, not less autonomy, but more, right? By conceding, by obeying that spiritual energy, you're gaining so much more from it. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to put it down over here. Tiny Bob Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. Okay? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It's totally free, and this channel is supported by viewers like you, and I appreciate you. Okay. General energy. Of course, there's swords. See, now we get down to what this all really means for you right now. And you're somebody that tends to see things in rather empirical ways, I guess. You tend to rely on your senses, and you have this very intelligent, rational, logical mind, which is, of course, very necessary, but also kind of funny when we think about all the psychic energy too. Like you're somebody that does divinations, tarot, tea leaf readings, geomancy, Jing, pendulums, whatever it is. But there's also this rational side of things. Okay? And I wonder if that sometimes creates a conflict in you. Like the rational versus the kind of irrational or supra-rational decision-making, apparatus that we're involved with. So we think of the logical mind kind of weighing the information and making a decision that seems like it has kind of a cause and effect sort of chain of events that makes sense to us, very rational. Then we think of the psychic energy, the divination, the imagination, the dreams. All that's irrational, right? And so there's this kind of conflict, I think, where it's difficult for you to let go with your rational mind and just trust what your divination's telling you. How many times do we do a tarot reading and energy is telling us something, but rationally I'm thinking, no, I don't buy it. I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. That's not who I am. That can't be right, Or we even use the rational, logical mind to influence what that reading is. That we'll see a card and we'll try to find a way to spin it so that it's what I want to believe, So we have that inherent bias anyway, and that's one reason why I don't do much tarot reading for myself. I do I Ching a lot for myself, because that's a little bit less, I guess maybe less, but also more open to interpretation. I don't know. If you're a fan of the E, you know what I mean. So the idea here is to trust that lunar energy. See, we've got that little crescent moon at the top. It's trying to trust that psychic energy. It's trying to open that third eye, and it doesn't mean that we're losing our logic, right? It just means that we're consciously connected, and that's really what's going on here, is that you're consciously connecting with that lunar psychic energy, and you're allowing yourself to be guided. We're not destroying the rational mind, but we are transcending it. Okay. Ace of Cups. There's the Ace of Cups, that the Knight of Cups is holding the Ace. So now we're kind of getting a zoomed in version of this in that card, right? And this is, I think, a shifting of your focus really toward love, baby. It's all love. And so this may be a shift in your life toward more creativity, more love, more service, right? More focusing on those intimate relationships. See, this is an Ace of Cups. This is the seed of all love. It's not just romance, right? It's the seed of all love. The Ace is the well. The Ace is the source of every river. And it branches out. It floods. It flows out into all these other rivers. Which, yes, it's romantic, platonic, divine love, self-love, right? You got all the four quarters. But even those branch out into other things. Creativity, random, anonymous kindness, right? Acts of service, charity, okay? Art, creativity, compassion, everything is love, man, everything. And so this, I think, is really a shift in you toward this kind of expression. And I think your life is really, really different in that way. And this might really be you falling in love with someone or something, an idea, right? Suddenly, meeting somebody, and it seems like it changes the course of your destiny. Having this inspiration to go pursue some mission or maybe a social issue, or to devote your time to some sort of a charity or, something like that, right? It is the inspiration that will change the course of your life. Let's see what the obstacle is here. The world. Look at that. I think there comes a point where we realize the bigger picture. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is looking typically at the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. And saying, that's where I'm going to be, who I'm going to be, and what I'm going to be doing in the future. Long-term goals, right? Very practical, earthy energy. But the Knight of Cups has a little bit of a higher perspective, right? Not so, this is rather horizontal, But in the bigger picture, from this perspective, you can really see what matters to you. You can really see kind of where you belong in the world. Now, this is the obstacle here. I feel like for a long time, you didn't really know where you fit into the bigger picture of life. And it could be that you really enjoyed having this maybe rather basic, let's say rather horizontal outlook on the future. That the worst thing that we could do is kind of not know where we're going, right? So you just made a plan. You said, okay, I'm going to go there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be that person. Boom, got it. Seal the deal. Locked it in. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Because the world is a cold and lonely place if we don't really know who we are, where we're going, right? So I feel like a big thing for you is just having a plan. Having something, having that idea of the future, having it locked in. Okay, I know what I'm going to do with my life. I know the path. Then we don't have to really fear the unknown anymore. But I think you're getting this higher perspective, this deeper feeling. Spirit is showing you something that really, I think, speaks to you, and it feels like it's undeniable. There's this growing awareness that your heart is yearning for something else, right? And so maybe the world isn't so much of a cold and lonely place that's devoid of life that makes us, well, I want to have that. I want to have that very solid plan so I don't have to worry about life. I know what's going to happen, Now we're being asked to trust in the unknown, which is hard to do. Especially when we're so used to the world feeling like a vast, empty, lonely place. But now I think that you're realizing it's full of love. And it's your job now. It feels like it's your kind of path, it's your purpose to fill this universe with as much love as you can. It's a fundamental shift, I think, of your interaction with the world, the way you interface with the world. I think this card's in the position of the difficulty because it is difficult to allow yourself to be guided by the emotional, intuitive, creative, psychic energy, the spiritual energy, kind of into the unknown, right? I mean, this is the vast unknown. This is the infinite possibilities of life. This was something very finite. I know what it is, and I know what I'm doing, and it may not have ever had that kind of yearning, burning love, but hey, it was a plan, and it was a solid one, and it allowed you to map out your life. Now this is a cosmic map, right? This is a map that we're kind of, we're out here mapping the universe ourselves now. We don't have anything really to rely on, except for this psychic energy, this gut feeling, this kind of trust falls, leaning into it, and seeing where it takes us. But you're fueled by this love and this compassion and this creativity and this psychic spiritual connection. Okay? It could really be falling in love. Okay? It feels like that. But it may be manifesting as any sort of form of love, maybe general love, but it might be very specific too. Okay? Let's see what the outcome card is here. 5 of Wands, very interesting. The 5 of Wands is us sort of learning how to not struggle, right? Well, in some ways, the 5 of Wands is a card called Strife. It's a card of fighting, right? But it's Saturn energy. So it's almost as if we're trying to control our desire to fight. And I think this is part of your work. And I can see that right now when we talk about this Hanged Man energy, there's part of you that's kind of fighting, that is resisting that. It's difficult for you to completely just let go. So, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a struggle against your sort of conscious mind, against maybe your that logic or even that intuition. It seems like it's kind of counterintuitive. You've got to let go. You've got to kind of let go of control in order to gain control. So it is. It's about getting control over our need for control. Yeah. So there's a fight. It's a struggle for you to allow yourself to be pulled into the unknown. It's a struggle for you to allow yourself. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. Yeah. Let's see what Lover's card maybe. Maybe some more water energy. I don't know. I'm going to say water energy, or I'm going to say maybe tower. Let's see. 4 of Wands. Well, 4 of Wands is really us backing off from this 5, right? This 5 is our struggling. This is us kind of wrestling with something. This now, we're not wrestling. This is us walking to this hotel, walking to the hostel. This is us taking our seat on the train and enjoying the ride. Right? 4 of Wands. So it's us stopping the fight. From a 4 to a 5. We're stabilizing that fight energy. Yeah. And this is also, I think, a card that's saying that this may be something that's quite uncomfortable at the beginning, but you're going to settle into it. And it's going to be comfortable. And you're going to enjoy the ride. and it's going to feel good. It's going to be happy and productive and pleasurable and pleasant. But at the beginning, it feels like you kind of have to force yourself, you know? Force yourself to kind of unforce yourself. It's interesting that way. And it's all about that hanged man energy. I think this is a very good confirmation. Yeah. Anyway, well, let's do an extended reading, okay? Click on the link in the corner. There's also a link down below. New readings for Scorpio every Wednesday. Bonus readings on Saturday. Be sure to watch both, okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know what form of travel you prefer, yeah? I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.